So I had a client ask me, why am I suddenly overly sensitive? So I had a client ask me, why am I suddenly so sensitive? And I want you to know that if you relate to this, you're in the midst of what's called a period of adjustment and an upgrade spiritually. So hang on. I'm going to give you some symptoms. First of all, you'll find yourself very irritable. You're irritated easily. You will also find yourself extremely sensitive to noise and even visuals. You may wind up exhausted and tired right in the middle of a conversation with somebody. So I'm going to give you some solutions to this as well. So hang in there. First of all, what is a spiritual upgrade or a period of adjustment? It feels like we're not going through a spiritual adjustment or upgrade at all. It feels like we're downgrading because you would think, if I'm becoming spiritually more aware, then why I shouldn't be irritated. I shouldn't be frustrated. I should be at peace and in a great place, right? No, because what happens is when you're more in touch with your human self, we are detached. We tend to become very self-soothing when we're more in a human state. We're more attached to money, material things, and even forcing ourselves to be in social situations so that we can get a sense of gratification through people pleasing in order to feel better about ourselves. That is more in a state of leaning more towards your human self. Now, remember, as an avatar, we have to gravitate, we have to balance both the human existence and our soul existence in order to feel completely satisfied. So, with that being said, when you're in a period of adjustment, you suddenly become sensitive, and a lot of these feelings and emotions may not be yours. So, if you're in a situation where you can speak to the person that you're around, see if they're okay. Are they frustrated? Are they irritable? You might even do things to kind of trigger them, like, what's wrong with you? And if their reaction is nothing, why? Then it's not them, it's you, right? But if they're like, nothing wrong with me, Jesus Christ, blah, 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 then you're like, okay, I walked into the room, I was fine. And it isn't because you are irritating me or that I can't be around you because something's wrong with me. It's because I am sensing empathically that you are irritated. Now, does that mean you have to do anything about it? Absolutely not. You want to release control over somebody else's environment. It isn't your job. Now, if they do share with you, yeah, I'm really frustrated because blah, 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 then you can simply say, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Not, can I help you? Because that's demanding that they agree or disagree with you by giving you a yes or a no. Just say, if there's anything I can do, let me know, and leave it at that. Okay. If you have to step away from the situation, then that's what you have to do. Eventually, you will get to the point where you'll be able to discern the difference between, is this mine or is it somebody else's? Now, of course, if you're in a situation like you're at a job, you're at a grocery store, you're standing in line at the airport, you're not going to know who it is and where it's coming from. So when you leave the situation, or if you can remember just before, and you were fine, then pretty good chance, a really good chance, that it's somebody in your environment and it's not you. Because as we grow, we become much more empathic. And being empathic sounds like this beautiful, wonderful gift, but it can be a curse if we don't know how to self-regulate. And that takes time, self-regulation. Now, I want you to keep in mind that with the downloads that I've received, planet Earth is one of the only existences where we do not navigate our experiences through our heart center, through emotions and feelings. When we are in soul existence, or when we are somewhere else. And whether you believe in this or not, it's up to you. If you think we're only here, over here on a regular basis, then that's okay. But we navigate through the heart center. We feel, we empathically are clear. It's like the smelling. It's undeniable that you can smell bacon or an apple pie baking. It's undeniable that you can see that the sky is blue or that you can hear someone communicating. You can touch your hair and feel it. That's an undeniable sense. But our senses of emotions can be denied. It should be undeniable, but it can be denied because on earth plane, specifically, the more that you are entrenched in your environment to create some false sense of identity, we can talk about that, the more you're going to be out of tuned with what your heart center is. So you want to listen to your body, as Gabor Mate says, when the body says no. So you want to take a look at when, let's say you're in the middle of a conversation with your neighbor and you don't always see eye to eye with your neighbor, or maybe your neighbor is just too chitty chatty for you, or she's an aggressive communicator. Let's say those are the cases. As you're talking to her, start tuning in to what's going on in your body. Do you feel tension, resistance, irritability? Do you feel a knot in your stomach, weak in your knees, a headache? Maybe your jaw is starting to get tense, or you see your eyes are shifting around looking for something to distract you. That is when your body is saying yes. In a way, it's saying no. I don't want to be in this situation anymore. It's probably because it's very out of balance. The person is self-absorbed in their own trauma and drama, and they're using you as a vehicle to somehow self-regulate. It's not always the healthiest way, but they are. And you don't need to be used in that way. It's not your job, really. And you're actually contributing to the behavior if you contribute, if you think it's your job to change or fix or help them. Now, obviously, it's not always the best to just turn around and walk away, but it's not so bad. You can quickly look at your phone. If you happen to have a watch, you can look at your watch and say, oh my God, I gotta go. Like, wow, I didn't know it was this time. I gotta go. Sorry, bye. Go. You know, women, we don't do that very well. Men do it very well. They have no problem saying to the buddy, like, oh, nice chatting to you. Gotta go. Bye. And they go. They're not, because in general, men aren't needing more reassurance to support them emotionally, like having long goodbyes or long adjustment periods. Okay. So the more emotional you are, the more triggered you are, the more anxiety that you have is a sign that you are evolving because you're becoming much more in tune with your heart center. I hope that helps you and supports you. Keep on with the lessons and we will learn. I will, starting in June and or July, start bringing together groups in which we can all talk about this because the world is shifting and changing. And we are becoming much more in tune with that sixth sense of the heart center. Some of us are feeling sick around it, and I'll talk about that in the future as well. Namaste.